G'day everyone and welcome to this video. I'm on my balcony at the moment and I don't love it. And so in this video, we're going to change that. Let's have a look at what we're dealing with.
It's not a big space, it's much wider than it is deep, so I can't put a lot on the floor because it'll become a tripping hazard. At one end we've got some seating and a table, there is some storage and benches, and at the other is a barbecue. The balcony faces north, which in Australia means that it gets the most sun. So it gets warm out here, and so keeping things well watered has always been a bit of a challenge because they get dry so quickly, as you can see by the dead plants.
Let's discuss the plan.
Because the area isn't very deep, I want to use as much vertical space as I can and use the balcony barrier fence railing thing with some hanging pots. I want to hang a few hanging planter boxes onto the railing and get some hanging baskets on the top, as well as the taller planters that I have at the moment to put on the ground. I think a big factor here will be irrigation. I want to install a tap and run irrigation to all the pots and set it up on an automatic timer so it basically takes care of itself. Then fill the top planters with herbs for cooking and the rest of the plants to be trailing so that we end up with a lovely green wall.
So my brother-in-law, who's a plumber, has installed the tap. It's a thing of beauty, and now I can use it to irrigate everything else. Before I do much more, I need a few bits and pieces. So let's go shopping. So I've got everything I need now. I didn't end up doing anything yesterday because I got home at about 7 PM and I am about to start my irrigating now. Just sorting out a few things around me, like I've still got all the plants that I've been propagating down here, and I've still got a dead jasmine which I need to sort out, but I'm going to do that and then it's time to irrigate. Okay, I've moved a few things around, I've tidied a few things, clean the floor and so on, and now it's time to finally install some irrigation.
I'm starting with the unit on the tap. I want to be able to use the tap without removing the tap timer, so I'm installing a two-way tap adapter. For the timer, I've gone with the Holman WX1. It's a timer that operates over Wi-Fi, which means I can set up the program from my phone, and I can also manually water it from the app, which means if it's a particularly hot day and I reckon they need another one and I'm at work, I can run an extra watering cycle from my phone remotely. I've installed a backflow preventer. It's probably not entirely necessary, but I don't want water from the irrigation system flowing back into the house if we lose water pressure. It took a few pieces of hardware to size down the pipe so it'd get onto my 13mm poly pipe, but we got there. I want to be able to turn each line off and on independently, so I need to attach some inline taps at the start of each new line of piping. I can now attach the lines to the taps and secure them with zip ties. I assume at some point that I may need to replace the zip ties because the sun's pretty brutal and weathers things, but that's not too difficult, and if I have to do it every few years, it's not a big deal. Whenever I get to the end of a line, I attach an end cap, otherwise water will just shoot out the end. It's now time to position some pots. The ones I've selected sit in these metal hooks, and once they're in and set with the drippers, I don't want to move them. So I have to be happy with their placement before I attach anything else.
Alright, we're looking pretty good now. So I've got the lines running across. I have positioned the pots and baskets where I want them, and now it's time to install the actual drippers. So I'm going to be using these drippers. These are 4 litre an hour drippers, and they just go straight into the line, or I can. I'm not going to though, because if I put that there, it's just going to not water the entire plant. So I'm going to put these on extenders. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to have to make quite a few actually, because for every dripper I need to have a slightly longer bit of piping. Let's do it.
This next hour is really just cutting up short lengths of 4mm piping, putting a barb on one end that will be jabbed into the main line, and a dripper on the other. Then, using an irrigation punch, I put small holes in the line, then put the barb for each dripper in it.
It's looking very reasonable. I'm not quite done. There's still a few things that I'd like to hook up. The ones that are on the ground as a start. I'm going to put something in that corner, and the ones up there need replanting and irrigating as well. But I've run out of barbs. The things that actually put the things that go in here. So and it's nearly 9:30, and the mosquitoes are out. So I will go to the hardware shop tomorrow and finish it off. Well, finish off the setup anyway. I'm really pleased with how it's all looking. It's good. I have got now everything that I need, and I have made a decision. I'm going to put another line of piping behind there, because I'm going to put a plant on that table and a plant there. Let's get to it.
I ended up using a hairdryer to help with this part to soften up the piping, because it was too awkward to get the bowl of water into the corner where piping was already installed. Later in the year I got a heat gun for some other projects, which would have been much more helpful, but the hairdryer worked okay. I had to slice part of the main pipe to install an additional T-barb so that I could run the additional line from it.
I'm just about finished with the irrigation. There is one more thing that I want to do. This spot behind me is looking a little empty, and I'd like to put something there. So it's next to the barbecue. I'd like to have something with a bit of height. So I found this fantastic planter on Facebook Marketplace really cheap. So I'm going to put some plants in it, and I'm going to hook it up. Now I'm going to use some adjustable drippers. Because they're slightly bigger baskets, I think that they may need more water at different times. They're also undercover, so maybe they get less sun. So I just want to be able to adjust it. So I've got these ones instead. So we're almost there.
This time I just ran 4mm piping from the main pipe down the bottom.
Now it's time to fill it. So I've got a bunch of plants. There's some propagations and some other plants that are just kind of not working for my indoor space. And I've got my regular potting mix. I'm hoping I've got just enough, otherwise I've got enough stuff I can mix some more. So let's plant this thing out. Yeah, so the time lapse ran out of storage, but it's done. So got a begonia at the top. So I'm hoping to get a little bit of height there. Philodendron silver sword, hoping eventually we'll get some nice big leaves and it'll kind of fill that middle section. And then down here I've got a bunch of different heartleaf varieties, which I'm hoping will spill over and give a beautiful flowing effect. And I'll prune them off as I need to, as they start to touch the ground. So we should just have a tower of plants. Everything is irrigated. I've planted out the things that I need to plant out, and so now it's time to add some plants to our green wall there.
I don't know what happened to the footage of me placing the plants in the pots, so let's just see what it looks like now.
Alright, so it's been a fair bit of work, but the balcony is now set up. It's going to look fairly like I've just set it up for a little while, but I'm expecting in a year's time, once all of these planters are really established, then they will start growing. I am pretty happy with how this is all looking.
Friends, it has been almost a year now. We've had an entire summer and an entire winter, and those are the parts of the year that I'm worried about. And I'm ready to do a bit of a reveal to show you what my balcony now looks like, and I am so happy. Let's get to some glamour shots. I can tell you, at least certainly looking from where I am, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. The space is now green, it's full of life. We have had some learnings, and I'd like to talk about those in a moment, but first, I'm really happy with this. The system for watering is working beautifully. I have at different times turned different lines off because, especially during winter, the middle two lines didn't really need anything. They had a bit of runoff from the top ones, and so I turned them off over winter, which was a bit of a problem for the golden cane palm, which is just off to the side of me. You can't really see it in this frame, because I forgot that it wasn't getting watered. So for several months it didn't get any water. It's starting to grow back now that I've turned the water back on, but that's something that I just need to be careful of, because this is a bit of a set and forget kind of system. Once it's established, there's not really much to do other than make sure that things are getting watered, which happens automatically, and I just totally forgot that I'd turn this one off. So some learning for next year. Almost all of the plants survived the winter, and I was a bit worried about how things would go over winter. I knew that there were quite a few of the plants that I had that would be fine, but not all of them. So pretty well everything except for the philodendron micans survived the winter. So I've got a couple of pots that I need to replace now. I have plants that are coming in for those, so I'm not worried about that. But they didn't survive and they're looking a little sad now. But other than that, everything has survived really well. I am so impressed with how this tower is looking. Like, the begonia is just blooming. It's enjoying having a bit more sun. It has exploded with growth over the last year. And now that the philodendron varieties in the bottom have established themselves, they're going to start flowing over, which is going to be really lovely. I just really like it. The trailing plants on the wall are really starting to get trailing, which is great. I'm probably going to do some pruning over the next little while to help them have more runners, so it's not just one long runner going down, but it's more than that. And the kitchen garden at the top, like the herb garden, is just, we're using it all the time. They were a bit slow over winter because everything is, but now that it's spring again, they're just pumping out a lot of growth. I need to rotate them every few weeks because you can see they get quite a lean because that's where the sun is, but I'm really happy with how they're doing. Now, in terms of pests, I haven't really had to worry about it. I was a little worried that we might have had some spider mites, but on closer inspection, they were spider webs because this is outside. And you know, when we are faced with this kind of thing, we can make a choice. Do we keep the spider webs or do we try and kill the spiders and get rid of the webs? I decided to get rid of the ones that were kind of on the railing itself, but keep the ones on the plants because the spiders are predators and they're going to kill any unwelcome pests. So I'm not worried about spider mites because the spiders will eat them if for whatever reason they get here. And it also means, you know, my garden is part of the ecosystem now, which is nice. It is far more pleasant having meals out here now because it is just a lovely cozy green space, and I'm really pleased with it. One of the general principles I see in my life and like to notice is that consistency breeds results. That can be positive or negative results, and having a bit of intention to set up some good systems that will do something consistently. So this automated watering system, a bit of startup cost. I hired my brother-in-law to install some plumbing because he's a plumber. Had to buy all of the irrigation stuff. Bit of setup cost, but once it's established, it's just checking in and maintaining. And as a result, we've gone from a fairly bland balcony to something really lush, full of life, that's going to continue to improve as time goes on. Because the maintenance of this really is very little. I now need to replace the micans that died with something that's going to be a little more hardy, which I can absolutely do. I need to fertilize everything. Everything's due for a fertilize, and I just need to keep maintaining which ones are getting water. I turn taps on and off depending on their needs, and that's really it. All that's left now is to continue to enjoy this space that I'm really proud of. And friends, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this year-long journey to turn my balcony into something a lot nicer. And thank you for being here on this channel generally. If you want to see more of my stuff, please consider subscribing to Scott Grows an Avocado Tree, where I mostly make avocado videos, but occasionally the more general houseplant or balcony plant video comes out, because this is stuff that I'm interested in. If you really want to go above and beyond and will support this channel financially, there is an option for you to do that. Please consider checking out my Patreon, where you will get your name at the end of the videos that I make here. You'll get a chance to be the sponsor of the week for the year-long avocado time-lapse, and you'll get an extra bonus video on the Patreon itself. Speaking of the Patreons, I need to thank all of my fantastic Patreons whose names are on the screen now. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. You can also find me on my second channel, That's Pretty Cool, where I make videos that are not necessarily plant related, about all kinds of things that I have an interest in and want to talk about. Thanks so much for watching this video. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree.